All right, guys, this is just a PSA. Do not work with businesses that do not have money. Do not work with bad businesses. All right, I'm going through a situation right now where one of my clients, actually our highest performing, our best performing client, ended up leaving us, and he still owes us a payment for the work that we've done for him. And when we asked for the payment, he, started to blame us and saying we're doing what we're supposed to do, when in reality he's been late on a payment every single month since we started working him, 2 months late even sometimes. And his card kept getting declined on Facebook ads. And I mean, we were doing incredible work for him. We were getting him quality leads, and he was closing, crazy deals from our ads, but he was just not good at business. He kept hiring people. I guess they were in credit card debt, and I don't really know what the exact reason is, but the reality is he was a major red flag. And it comes down to this, is that all the clients that we have that are good businesses, that are making a lot of money, right? They actually utilize our service properly. And wow, that's a pretty nice car. But they always pay on time. But when you have a bad client, it's like, this guy's just been an absolute nightmare. Ended up saying that we weren't doing enough for them, taking advantage of us, not paying us on time, still owing us a payment. And when you really think about it, when you're working with clients like this, when you start working with a client, like I know it's hard to imagine at first when you have no clients, but when you're first working with a client, you have to look at them and be like, all right, this person's been in the business, 10, 20 years? They're fucking broke as shit. Their margins are terrible. Their business is a mess. Is this someone that I can trust to even use the ads properly, to close leads, right? Those aren't the people you want to work with. You want to work with the people that have been in the business and they're making money hands over fists and they can pay you. And the reasoning is not because they're just easy to work with. I think it's a lot deeper than that. I think the reason that they're easier to work with is because they're actually good at business and you can collaborate more rather than just carrying them. And it's funny that it's true what they say, like, these are the clients that end up actually being easier to work with. I know I'm being a little bit redundant, but when you think about it, like, when you're working with someone that's brand new and starting out in business, you have to be like, is this someone that I think I can rely on to continuously pay my bills? Because you really want to make this a business of having long-term clients. That's the name of the game, right? You don't want to burn and churn clients. So, if you're just starting out, I get it. You kind of have to take whatever you can get. But as you get bigger, you have to really look at a business and say, is this someone that I actually want to work with? Because now I'm starting to realize, like, the difference between our good clients and our bad clients has nothing to do with anything other than the business owner and the position that they were in before that we started working with them. Because all marketing is you're just setting you're setting fuel to the fire. Like, for example, there's another client that I'm working with right now that I started working with them when I first started. I started working with them maybe a year ago, and let me just look over here. I started working with them maybe a year ago, but they kept pushing it back until a month ago. So, I didn't know any better. Now I'm working with them and they're like confused as to why I charge them ad spend. And they're like, we can't swing that. We can't do that. We can only spend $20 a day. We can't spend $50 a day. Well, that just throws my entire plan in the fucking garbage, because every single client that we've had, we've found the best success spending $50 or $60 a day. And if we do this plan so you want consistency among your clients. And now when you're working with these brokies, these broke motherfuckers, right? They throw everything off. They want to change this in the video. They don't want to promote this. They don't want to do that. All this shit that's like, none of the good business owners that are actually making money actually care about this stuff. and they understand that it's an investment. And not only do they get worse results, I feel weird like talking out loud when there's people around me, but they actually, not only do they get worse results, but they actually, even with the results that you get them, they're not able to close them. So it just doesn't work out. So, I mean, I'm talking to you right now, and you probably don't have any clients. So if you don't have any clients, throw everything that I just said in the fucking trash. Like, you need to take on whatever you can get, right? But I mean, if you look back at my old videos, you have to do the freemium approach. Like, you got to do free work first. And I guess this could apply to that. It's like, if you're gonna message a business and do work for free, then you want to find one where they're actually a good business, because you're going to get better results. You're going to have a better testimonial. They're better people to be around. It's going to work out long term, because there's nothing you can do to save a bad business. Business has been for 15, 20 years. They can't fucking afford to pay you. They're terrible at business. They're struggling. And it's like, that's too much, right? We don't want to go into the pain point of working with people that, oh, you're fucking struggling, you can't put food on your kid's table, so we're going to come in and save your life. Like, that's literally impossible. That's not what marketing does, and never promise anyone that. What we're in the business of is we're going to take a business that's already good, and we're going to make it better, and we're going to help it scale faster. And that's the only way marketing works. So what we did was we worked with a bad business, terrible business. The people are in credit card debt. And I mean, we got them incredible results. Best we've ever had with any of our clients. And, it didn't work out, because at the end of the day, they're still bad business owners. And so, yeah, it's just a little bit of food for thought here. Hold on. I'm playing Pokemon Go, and I need to end my route real quick. But yeah, all right, sorry about that. Just technical difficulties, but understand this. It's not a matter of, it's not that big of a deal, right? If you work with bad clients, if you work with good clients. But one thing you have to do is be consistent. So if someone isn't paying you, you can't let it slide. See, we weren't getting paid by this client, and what we're gonna do now, learning experience, is we're actually gonna shut off all of their stuff immediately. And it doesn't matter if you guys don't want to pay us, but just know everything's off, and you still owe us. We weren't doing that, and you kept paying us later, and we also need to get a card on file that works every time and do auto pay. So here's the thing, a little food for thought. If you're just starting out, you want auto pay. Last thing you want to do is ask for money. And if you're anything like me, you get too nervous to ask them for money in the first place anyway. So you have to set it up on auto pay and get their card information in the onboarding process. Because if you don't do that, they're basically it's actually a psychological power game of them holding your money that you earned, that they owe you, that they agreed to pay you, hostage and over your head until you do certain things for them, which is what this situation was turning into. And so you need to let them know, all right, if you don't want to have a card on file, right, that's completely fine, but it's going to be more. Like, you have to punish them for paying you without it being auto pay. So definitely when you're doing your onboarding, make sure that's in the SOP, in the process. So let me talk about onboarding for a little bit. Onboarding is where you can smush all the bugs before they get too big. That's where you can, stop things from happening, because once you let it slide, once it's not addressed in onboarding, right, you can't fucking go back. You can't. You need to set every expectation you possibly can during that onboarding process. So that's things like, payment, that's expectations, right? Because sometimes, clients are like, hey, we didn't close our first lead, you didn't get us a 10 leads a month, or whatever it is, I don't know. And you need to let them know in the onboarding process that this isn't some fucking magic dust. Like, you got to set the expectations low and over deliver. Like, sometimes, things are out of our control. Like, your area is new, there's a lot, or maybe we're testing different creatives, maybe there's something. We always figure it out. So you have to let them know the first month, right, is for testing. That gives you a little bit of leniency. I mean, usually in our first month, we can figure it out. And we're pretty good at getting results first month, but we want to set the expectation that the first month is for learning, so that if something does go wrong, it doesn't put a bad taste in their mouth for the rest of the relationship. Because the very beginning is, where it makes or breaks the trust, and it's that first impression of, you want to start it off on a good note. So just let them know that first month. And that's where you can filter out some of these bad businesses, because some of them can be like, well, I can't fucking wait a month for results. That's how you know they're a bad business. Where you're like, all right, well, we can only work with businesses that have money to burn for that first month, and that can wait a little bit on getting results, because once it starts getting going and once you can afford to burn some money is when you start to make money. So the good business owners know that it's not a cost. It's not a cost to do marketing. It's a matter of, can you fulfill on the leads that we're giving you? Because once you're good at marketing, you can almost guarantee you can bring a lead from absolutely not knowing who they are all the way into their sales team's hands. From whatever happens from there, they got to be able to close. And the good businesses know that they'll be able to work with whatever, and at the same time, they know that they're going to make it back, right? So the idea is that it's not a fucking cost. So this is where bad business owners, you can identify them immediately. It's like, they think of it as a cost, and they're not thinking of it as like, all right, I can't, well, like the call I had with that guy the other day. Oh, I can't do $50 a day. Like, we just can't do that. We don't have the funds. Like, I'm very particular about my money. And that's where, a good business owner is like, well, $50 a day might be a lot, but I know if I close one deal, which I'm confident that I will, then I actually made money. And I know that these guys know what they're doing, and I trust them, and I know that I'm going to make my money back, so I'm going to put a fucking fire under my ass. I'm going to take some risk, because that's what good business owners do. That's what I do. That's what you're probably doing, is you're taking some risk. I mean, I was working as a pizza delivery driver when I first started, and just to mitigate that risk, because I was putting a lot of my own money into stuff that I didn't know was going to work, but I knew something was going to work, and I knew I had to spend money to make money. So that's how good business owners think. So that's pretty much it. But I mean, people are starting to look at me, but I'm gonna get this uploaded ASAP. But hopefully this helps. Peace.